You must first learn. Oh, let me try that again. You must unlearn what you have learned. Do you know who said that? If you're watching, think about who said that. You must unlearn what you have learned. It was Yoda. Yoda has some wisdom. And today what I'm going to talk about is one of the mindset shifts that I almost think it's like we have to be like Yoda to embrace this mindset shift, okay? It's this shift that I'm talking about today is exactly I just think that Yoda quote sums it up nicely. Many people who lead teams suffer from what I have come to call superstar syndrome. Here's how to tell if this might be you. You were a rock star employee. You excelled in your job. You got promoted. You have a high sense of achieving and being an achiever and a high sense of responsibility. You're the get it done gal. You're the get it done guy. You have a team of people who are really good, but they probably have untapped potential. Be the kind of leader that brings the best out in your team, and this mindset shift will help you. Okay, so I have 3 points I'm going to talk about. The first one is surrender. So I feel like this mindset is, like I said, superstar syndrome. It's sort of like you're used to being that superstar, the person who has the answer. And so you just do that. You just kind of go to that. And you know what? Most leaders love being that go-to person. It feels good. Our ego actually likes it, but it's tiring and exhausting. And see, the motivator here to point one with surrender, when leaders learn how to sort of take the cape off and surrender to feeling like they need to be the superstar, they actually gain energy back. Doesn't that sound amazing? And slowly but surely, you work with your team so they become the superstar. What would need to change for you to embrace this mindset? Be honest with yourself. Think about that. Think about the details. Okay, now let me change the second thing. What I find here with leaders is that a lot of times they are enabling instead of empowering. Okay, now just think about that for a minute. Enabling instead of empowering. And you need to notice when you're doing it. And here's the tough part for most leaders. Be courageous enough to stop it. See, so many times our ego is happy. We want to help. I mean, I work with so many leaders who just want to help. They want to be helpful. And it takes sometimes a really clear boundary to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that for you anymore. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to help you out. Tell me what you think you should do. So many times leaders can inadvertently end up enabling the team to rely on themselves. So instead, what I suggest in our program and what I work with clients on is using a leader as coach approach. It's a top trend in leadership today, and it really puts the foundation of coaching skills. And really in our program, we train there's probably 2 or 3 key, I call them the golden skills that life coaches use to draw out the best in people. I mean, that's really what a life coach is there for, to draw out the best, in human beings. So for leaders to use that kind of approach in their leadership, it's golden. You really end up facilitating more growth and evoking more resourcefulness in your team when you do this. But it's tricky. And here's this is the third point. This is why it's tricky. Now, first I'm going to listen. All the leaders who come to work with us at Lead Well have really good habits. They have good leadership habits. Okay? But these habits are often the habits of superstars, not necessarily habits of leaders. And there's probably a concentric circle, they overlap. They overlap. And so some of the habits and traits that superstar has transfer to a leader. But in general, they are a different set of skills. But here's the good news. You already have these good habits. So what we do in Lead Well is we work with you to find out what you're already good at and build on those skills by giving you some foundational golden coaching skills. You do not need to become a coach. These leaders that are like, you don't have to be a coach. I'm not trying to train you to be a coach leader. What we're doing is giving you a foundation that you can stand on that is stellar, okay? Oftentimes the habits that people come to us with are more about working harder versus smarter. And they actually may be preventing, those habits may be preventing your team from thriving. Can you imagine that? See, the thing about habits, whether they're good or they're bad, they're like a ground path in the hill. If you walk on a path, it's fall in Minnesota, and we've gone walking in the woods. When we go walking in the woods, you stay on the path because it's the easiest path, right? If you started to walk through the woods, you'd get poked and prodded by the trees, and it'd be crunchy and you're not sure what you're stepping on. That's kind of like habits. Even if it's not the best path, we stay on it because it's usually easy. So, clear your mind must be, says Yoda. You need to be open and transparent about where you could build better leadership habits. Habits that will help you empower easier. New habits eventually diminish the old ones and help you look for new ways to lead well. So here's a little summary of today's live stream. Solving is a natural process for leaders. But if solving is your primary go-to, you will develop a bottleneck. You will be tired. And you'll be wondering why your team can't figure stuff out for themselves. And you'll be knocking yourself over the head. It's time to retire the superstar cape. Take it off, hang it up. It's time to tell your ego to relax. You do not need to know all the answers. You've got a new job. You've got to train yourself to let go of everything that you might fear to lose. Get ready to be more like Yoda. It's time to develop some superstars, some rock stars. Hang up your cape, but help other people find theirs. I hope you enjoyed this today, and I'll see you in my live private training on Thursday. I'm doing a training for people who are interested in growing and developing their leadership habits through our program, Lead Well. And it's Thursday, October 15th, and it's called The Bottleneck to Breakthrough, How to Lead Your Team to Rockstar Results. And it's been such a great program. It really blends the high-level courses that I've developed with a really great hands-on coaching, and it's better than ever. You get weekly access to me and our coaching team, and it's just fantastic. So there's going to be a link in this video, in the text, and you just click on that. It's a simple application. It's got really 2 questions. What are your goals? And why is now a good time for leadership development? I hand-pick the people to come into our group to make sure it's a great group of leaders who have a common denominator. They want to grow. They want to be the best they can be. And if we're all that kind of leader, it's a fantastic group. And that's really what we work on. So you just click on that little form in the link. It's really quick. It won't take you long. It's your contact info. And so I can send you the details for the private training. And even if you can't be there, it's best to be there live because then you can get your questions answered. But if you can't be there, I will send you a replay link with for a limited time. So click on the link. I'll be sharing how to build, how you build rockstar teams and how a better leader leads better teams.